Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stylist from the Back Room. We've got a quiz. We've got something to talk about. We're reviewing hair extensions. And John's got some motivation for us. Good morning, John.
No, we're not doing
All
this.
right, well, then I am a beacon of hope in these dark, trying times.
You're gonna be our motivation.
I'm not the hero you deserve. I'm not the hero you asked for, but this is what you got.
How to be like Eddie. Good morning. Hey guys, how are we today? Eddie, how's your week been, bud?
It's been very loud. It's been a good week. I'm having construction done on the house, so if there is background noise, I'll have to mute myself out. Just please bear through it because it is grinding. Okay, they started this week. Within 5 minutes, Carmelina's like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to my mom's." she could not even last 5 minutes.
See, that's love for you. She waved goodbye as the garage.
She's like, "I'm out. I'm out."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I think our first order of business for everybody, for all our SFTB fans and haters and everybody in between, is October 7th. We have the what's the proper title? Because I'm not
the Definitive Hair Loss Forum, Monday, October 7th, in the DoubleTree Hotel in Downers Grove, Illinois.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to have Jared from the creator of Xenogen there with us, and then my man Chad, who's one of my favorite educators, is going to be there. It's a full day event. You're going to get lunch, you're going to get hours, and you're going to get a whole carload of information to take back for you and your clientele. So it's going to be an awesome day. You can call the office 847-741-5000 to purchase your tickets or for information about it. And Eddie and I will be there.
The main thing is, if you're struggling with hair loss, or if your clients are struggling with hair loss, whether it's shedding, whether it's a form of alopecia, whether it's some kind of stress-related thing, this event is going to answer all of your questions, and it's also going to equip you with how to deal and how to treat and how to maintain, all that hair that the client has left, help it get regrowed back, and being able to help them walk through getting through this trying time.
That's awesome. It's going to be an awesome event. Check it out. Once again, that's 847-741-5000. Call HTB Beauty, and we will be able to help you get signed up for that event. So we might as well get right into the quiz.
Okay.
Everybody prepare for Eddie to start complaining. So your first question today, my friend, is a true-false question. Are you ready? Okay. Hair is the fastest growing tissue on the body.
Oh, I don't know. Ooh. The fastest growing tissue. I thought the epidermis. I'm going to say false. I thought your skin. I'm going to say false.
It's actually true. Hair is
the
fastest growing tissue on the human body.
Man, it regenerates faster than your skin. That's pretty wild.
Really think about it. I mean, what's the average hair growth on let's just use per month as an example.
Oh, that one I know. That's up to a half an inch.
Half an inch a month.
About a half inch of growth a month, yeah.
Right. So if you cut yourself, if you really think about it, how long does it take for that cut to heal? Completely. Yeah.
Depends how deep the cut is, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
Now there's gonna be some people in the comments like, no, that's not true.
What other part of how did you phrase the question? Because the way you phrased it was important.
Hair is the fastest growing tissue.
Oh, tissue. So
Yeah.
other than the skin, what other tissue is there on the body?
You know what? I don't know, but in researching it, there was some conflicting reports. You know, this grows faster, that grows faster.
Because does
technically,
nails count as a tissue as well?
well, isn't nails made up of almost the same composition as hair?
It is.
So,
Okay.
but we're gonna for our purposes, we're gonna say it's the fastest growing, and that's a general consensus. So
No, it's like I said, that's a very interestingly phrased question. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay. Now here's one that we kind of touched on last week, but wet hair. Actually, let me rephrase this. Wet, healthy hair can stretch up to what percentage of its original length? Here's your choices.
Oh, 50%.
30, 70, 50, or 25%.
Yeah, no, I'm still staying with 50%.
Actually, it's 30%.
Dude, no. You're telling me miladies don't know what she's talking about?
It's 30% according to Milady's. I went to the Milady's textbook just to make sure, because I always thought it was 50% too. It's 30%.
What is happening right now?
I'm just telling you what I'm telling you. Go to the Milady's.
You're rewriting history
to fit my narrative.
Fake news.
Okay, here's
30%. We were taught. Okay, you know what? This is why education is important. This is why staying on top and up to date with information. This is why I like this beauty quiz. This was the whole purpose of this beauty quiz. You know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Here's
okay. You know what? I'll accept it. That's okay. You're 2 for 2 this week so far. Good week. I like it.
Okay. Here's a fun one. Only blank percent of the world population has natural blonde hair. Here's your choices.
30.
A, 3%.
Oh, that's an actual thing.
B, 10%. C, 20%. Or D, 4.5%. What percentage?
What a specific percentage number
of the world has natural blonde hair?
Then when you say natural blonde, are we talking about like natural level 8, 9, 10?
Towheads.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3%.
You are correct. Ho-ho! Yeah, 3% of the world's population has natural blonde.
Because it's a recessive trait. It's not a dominant trait. Being a towhead, just like being a redhead, is an
anomaly. Yeah, an anomaly. Okay, here's a fun one. 90% of the world has this natural hair color. Okay? A, blonde.
Dark brown.
B, dark brown or black. C, medium brown. Or D, auburn.
Ooh, medium brown, huh? I'm 90%.
90%.
Okay, then I gotta go with dark brown.
You're correct. Dark brown / black.
Okay.
That is
90. Okay, but that's interesting. I would not have thought 90. I would have thought,
and it's an estimate. It's an estimate 90%.
No. I mean that's. I would not have thought. I will agree and say I thought it was a high percentage.
Right.
But I did not realize that it's such a high percentage.
Yeah. Well, really,
I would have put it more in like 60, 70. I would not have thought about.
Yeah, but if you
think about medium brown.
If you really think about it, though, dark brown, black. If you count in a lot of the European countries,
who even is medium brown?
Asian. I find me medium brown natural hair.
That's what I'm trying to think. What culture? Right. Help me, chat. What culture would be more have a predisposition to having medium brown over darker brown or black hair? Yeah, now that you're giving the answers, okay, I can believe it then. 90%.
Yeah.
Okay. At 3% is blondes, 1% is redheads.
Right.
Who's left over? Oh, albinos are like a 0.5%.
How excited you get about albinos?
It is amazing. It is amazing. So I wonder what the other mix would be. Oh, the medium brown.
Yeah. Albinoism is a subject for another day.
We should.
Okay. We
should. It's fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating.
We can. Okay. Which hair type contains less? Oh, by the way, you're 2 for 4 so far.
Yeah, I got my butt kicked this week. I like this week.
Okay.
I get it's fun when you're right, but it's exciting to learn stuff.
Okay. Which hair type contains less pigment?
Hair
type. Fine, coarse, or medium?
Fine.
Right. Because there's less diameter, so there's less pigments in there. It's kind of a trick question because people will think, But
Why?
yeah, it's fine hair. Yeah.
Wait, well, how is it like in what way would people double guess themselves?
Well, you think about the amount of pigment. Fine, everything is compacted to where with coarse it'd probably be bigger pigments, less,
Oh, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, if you really think about it. But
okay, that's a good way to think about it. I did not think about it that way at all. I just figured it's fine hair. There's less room. You can't get as much in there because it's fine hair suffers from limpness, thinness, breakage, brittle, like what do you call like the structural integrity of fine hair is very weak.
And think about fine hair, it's really hard to lighten too.
Because there's not a lot to work with.
Right.
So that contributing pigment is gonna show through way harsher.
Sure.
Makes sense. Okay. Wow, man. What a simple sounding question with such complexity behind it. You are a scholar, my good man.
Okay. What are the 3 layers of the hair?
The 3 layer. What are you talking about? Like the cuticle and the cortex and the medulla?
Yep.
What is, like in the movies, they always talk about the medulla oblongata.
Medulla oblongata?
Do you know what am I talking about?
Isn't that in the brain?
Is that's what that is, right? Is that what controls like your violence or something?
Then you don't have any of that?
I'm a happy person. You ask me every week, how's my week been? And I keep telling you it's a happy week. Not until 10 o'clock when I start talking to you is when I get angers.
Usually it's 8:30 when you call me. Yeah. So the three layers of the hair.
Is that what all right? So what are the choices?
There aren't choices. The cuticle, because I knew you were going to get this. I knew you were going to get this. So let's go from out to in. So you got the cuticle, you got the cortex, and then you have the medulla. And then
here's a follow-up question for you.
Okay.
Majority of the audience, majority of people understand the cuticle because that's all is ever talked about. Not a lot of people are familiar with the cortex. What is its purpose outside of hairdressers? And I'll even hit you with that. What is the purpose of the cortex? A lot of hairdressers may not be able to answer that.
The cortex is where all the bonds are. That's where your melanins are. Everything that happens to the hair happens inside the cuticle.
Inside the cortex is in the cortex?
Yeah, I'm sure it happens in the cortex.
Okay.
Because some hair does. If you really go, there are actually some hair types that don't have a medulla.
And what is the purpose of the medulla?
The medulla is just the center part of the hair.
Doesn't it dictate to produce what pigment you're going to become?
No, not your medulla. No. You have to go down into the structure of the hair to which dictates. If you go down into the follicle, what dictates what pigment is going to be heavily produced and not. Come on. We're done with this conversation, Mr. Man.
No, there's no more questions. Is that it?
Oh no, I have another question.
Okay.
I have another question, and then a fun fact with this question, which is something cool that I found out. Okay. True or false? Hair can absorb oil and odors. Absorb oil and odors.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
That is very true. And I found out there is a company in San Francisco that is taking shipments of hair from salons and things like that. And they make these hair mats, these giant mats of hair to clean up oil spills and pollution in the ocean. And they drag them over. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So yeah, hair is a very absorbent product.
They've been doing that for decades.
Yeah,
that company has been doing that work for decades. We've talked about it. We've kind of touched on it in the past before. The bio bags. So when you cut hair, generally speaking, majority of salons will just sweep it up, toss it. But you could get a bio bag, and you sweep up that hair and you put it into those bags, and that bag goes for donation.
Right.
And farmers will use it, and they'll sprinkle it around their crops to keep the wildlife away.
Right.
But that company, like you're talking about in particular, they'll also take that. Yeah, they make those mats, and it's pretty cool.
Every spring, I have a client. She's a big time gardener. She showed me pictures of her backyard. It's absolutely freaking gorgeous. And she'll always ask me, "Hey, do you have any hair laying around?" And I'll fill a plastic bag for her, and she sows it into the soil because the hair absorbs moisture.
Okay.
And it keeps her soil moist, and also it keeps some wildlife away and things like that. It's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. That's a fun fact.
Super cool. Super cool.
This quiz this week was a good quiz.
Okay, I'm glad you're happy. I try not to do hair history because you get all uptight. Unless it involves
it's because
what?
I keep it real. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
here
know.
we go.
I don't know how you are off camera. Okay. But what you see is what you get, true and true. And that, my friend,
for those of you watching this, welcome to Eddie's segue.
Thanks for calling it out. It would have been impeccably perfect had you not called it out.
It was not impeccably perfect. Oh my God.
I get you every time with that.
Oh my God.
The question was asked, how was our personalities? Are we just playing this up, or how close of our true personalities show through on camera? So that is what I want to bring to your attention today.
Wow. Wow.
And this inside joke of keeping it real started off was we were doing a hair show, just like the plenty of hair shows that we've always done. We had one guest artist in particular who showed up, and he was such a D-bag that was his whole thing the entire dinner. I keep it real. I keep it real. And it's like, dude, shut up, you freaking loser. But so it's just become this inside joke between the two of us. You ever want to get a quick rise out of either one of us? That's all you have to say, man. Are you keeping it real, bro? So yeah, as far as our personalities go, what you see is what you get.
Is it really? I can't believe that we just aired that dark part of our history out.
Because it's real.
Because it was I don't even know if we want to touch this.
I am as much as an open book as I could possibly be, right? And a lot of people always say that. Carmelina, the poor girl, if you ask her, how am I at home? She'll give you one of two answers. When I am quiet, I am very, very, very quiet. I can keep myself occupied and busy all alone in the corner, no problem. I am not a social butterfly. I don't need to be in the spotlight of everything. But when I am on, dear God, If I have to interact with people, I am going to interact with people with the only intention of poking as hard as I can to see how far I can push until everything explodes and people walk away. And it is my sworn duty every single day to poke her relentlessly until I set her off over the edge and she beats my butt. Okay. And she loves jamming. That's why she goes, that's my joke. That's why she goes to get her nails done every 2 weeks so she can keep her nails nice and perfect so she can get me right between the ribs. And dear God, does she get me? She has like laser pinpoint accuracy. She's like a sniper, man. She can really get me between the ribs really good every time without even looking.
That is such a tough, for me, it's tough because I truly am what I am. And I'm like you, when I'm on, it gets very frustrating and really, ideally, this question should be when we should have the wives on at some point, because there are times where Erin will lean in when we're in social situations and she'll be like, "You're not in the salon. You don't have to be on. Just stand here." And then I start vibrating in place, and then she's like, "Fine, go do whatever you're gonna do, and just try not to embarrass the both of us." So I you know what though, for me, I've worked with people where you put them behind the chair and it's showtime, right? And then you get them out of from behind the chair or in the salon, and you've got to like basically hit them in the head to get more than 2 words out of them. Unfortunately, me, this is what you get. I mean, what you see is what you get. My language is a little more cleaned up when I'm behind the chair than I am, or when I'm here, than when I'm out.
That is true. I try not to cuss during this live, but
Right.
in the salon, oh no. I'm trying.
See,
I try to create cuss. I cuss at the salon too. I don't care.
In the back room, yeah, I'm when I'm not in front of clients, yeah, I'm creating words, but in front of my clients, I try to keep it as PG as I possibly can. I mean, you do have some clients that you can just cut loose with, because they're cutting loose right back at you with it, and that's fun. But no, what you see is what you get.
Out of respect, when the kiddos are around, I will try to curb my language.
Yeah,
because we do get kids come to, like, we're very. Now that I think about it, we have a lot of generations that pass through the salon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that, but we also, as veteran hairdressers, you do tend to style shift a little bit with each client, and especially if they're clients you're pretty familiar with, what you can, how you can be with them and how you cannot. Like, I have a couple.
That's the fun of it. Don't you push?
No.
Like, if you have conservative clients or if you have more reserved clients, you try to push a little bit to see if you can get a rise out of them.
Have a little fun with them. But I have clients that come in and their laptop goes open, and other than us doing the initial consultation, it's just brief little snippets, and that's okay too. And then I have other clients where it is full entertainment for an hour and a half of back and forth, sarcastic comments, quips, stuff like that. So I think, but as far as you and I are concerned, these are pretty much our true personalities, and the back and forth that you and I have. This goes on all day long with 6 different freaking phone calls a day between the two of us. Like I told you, when you call and Erin sees that it's you on my phone, she's like, "It's your boyfriend," So yes, and I guess the answer is yes and no. Yes, these are not personalities that we put on for this, or when we do a show or when we teach a class. This is what we are. actually, it's a little actually in private. It behind the scenes, I think it's a little more X-rated. Is that a good term? Some of the
Not
stuff
even
that
R-rated, just straight up.
it goes right to X.
There's no
really
holds. It's Thunderdome.
It is Thunderdome. It is Thunderdome. And you know what? The barbs and the pokes that we give each other
nothing
here,
is sacred.
Nothing is sacred behind the scenes. I can tell you that much right now.
True. So I guess this is our personality, but we're trying desperately to behave a little bit.
That's it exactly.
Instead of playing it up, we're actually trying to play it down a little bit.
And the poking that goes on between us is it's no holds barred. Just to bring up a subject when I talked to you when I don't know, it was a day or two ago when I told you that I got a monkey sock puppet that we were gonna bring in.
Gosh.
Those are some interesting swear words that were coming from you. And you threatened not to do this live, if I remember correctly. If I did get a monkey sock puppet. This is us, guys. This really is us. And I hope it shows through too that of the camaraderie that we have and in the shop too. It's the same thing, it's camaraderie. It's let's have fun doing hair, doing what we do. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to look like, we're not factory workers. We don't have to just sit there and be good droids.
So then here's the question then, back to the original question. Why is that question being asked? And I've seen it, and I know you've seen it too. What would you attribute that to? Why do hairstylists feel, or why does anybody for that matter, feel like they have to put a face on, so to say, when they're at their job? What is the difference? What is the difference between just being ourselves and having to pretend to be something else, like you're a movie star actor or something?
I think that's very very old school. It's very old school. The old guard of the hair industry. You were Mr. Eddie, the artiste, and you had to put on that. You had salon owners that wanted their people to put on a persona instead of really showing your personality. I think that's really where a lot of it comes from. I worked for someone a long time ago who used to tell me, you got to dial it back. You've got to dial it back. You've got to stop being so gregarious and blah, 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 blah. Because it was they wanted the persona of the salon to come through and not so much the persona of the individual stylist, operator, whatever word you want to put on it. And I think that's really where a lot of this comes from. And you were told, I remember in beauty school, it was, you were told it's all about the client. It's not about your personality. And, it's all about servicing the client. Well, yeah, it is about servicing the client, but it's also about making the client feel comfortable in your chair and the client enjoying the time that they spend with you. For me, but yeah, I used to get beat down a lot about, you don't have to be so loud. You don't have to be so over the top. You don't have to. I had a salon owner that I worked for a very short period of time who used to stand around the corner and listen to the conversations that were going on between the stylist and their client, guest, whatever word you want to put to it, and make notes and then pull people aside and be like, you shouldn't have been talking to your client about this. You shouldn't have been talking about your client about that. You shouldn't, you shouldn't. Instead of, wow, it was really awesome. That client left smiling, loving her hair, loving the experience that was here. Because I don't know about you, but for me, I've found that now 30 plus years in this, most of my clientele have come to me or stay with me because of the interaction that we have, because of the relationship that we've built. They love their service, obviously, but also the fact that they can sit, relax, and be themselves in our chair. Because there's so much of their life that is a facade, or whatever word you want to put to it. And I think that our personality showing through, no matter what your personality is, you're going to get a lot of the same-minded people sitting in your chair. Eventually, it kind of evens itself out, But yeah, there is a little bit of style shifting that you have to do. You can't always be up bouncing off the walls for every single client. You do have your clients that want to come and relax. What's that smile? That is the most evil smile I've ever seen, besides your wife's smile. Yes, I know. I know what it's like to work in a salon with you. I know and I can't use the right word, so I'm going to use the word tomfoolery that goes on when you lock on to a subject.
There is no relaxing. It's party time.
Yes, I know. I know what you're like. I know that you make.
That's all we do is bounce off walls. That's why they're padded.
And you beat a horse to death all day long, only for your enjoyment. I understand it. I get it.
And that right there is the interaction.
You forget, for a short period of time we worked side by side.
Oh no, I don't forget. I know.
And the poking. You're a poker. You love to poke. I get that.
I can't help it. I just can't help it. I think everybody gets too uptight. I think everybody is too reserved. I think everybody should just open up more.
100%. But are there the clients that want to come and chill and just relax? Yeah. And so you gotta take a step back a little bit.
They can come on Monday when I'm not there.
Yeah. See, I know how that works with you. I know how that works.
They can come on Friday morning. They can come between 8 and 11 a.m. while I'm not there.
I get that all the time. I get that. Oh, you're here. It was so quiet for a little while. Yeah, I get it.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's totally awesome. On that note, I hope we answered that question. Feel free to ask any other questions of what Eddie's like. I'll be glad to tell you all.
That should be an ongoing segment, right? I told you, what was it? Was it last week or was it the week before? There have been case studies done on me. I have been the turn paper subject for I have gotten people A's, okay, high marks. I am an anomaly that will be going.
I think that should be it. I think that's one of our segments coming up. Eddie murdering the English language.
Oh my God, we could fill up an entire segment just with that alone. Are you kidding me?
I'm kidding. That'd be a 1-hour podcast.
Wow.
So
easily.
On that note, easily. and I'm going to be so fake with the segue, but we got to talk about on-stage hair extensions.
What's so fake about it?
Well, I'm just switching gears from us having fun to talking about on-stage hair extensions. Actually, no, you know what? What's fun about on-stage hair extensions?
Everything.
Okay, walk us through it.
You kind of hit me sideways there for a second.
I didn't do the smooth segue like you did.
It's fun. No, look, hair extensions in general to me is so much fun. Okay. The on-stage hair extensions, so they have flat beaded weft, they got flat beaded strands, and they got the extended wear hair. So it's kind of like a topper-ish type thing. I love being able to create, excuse me, I love being able to create effects in people. A lot of the clients this past week in particular have been, when they first came, their hair was very damaged. So it was, it's not that they had bad hair. This has been a running theme. We should actually do a whole segment on this. They didn't have bad hair. They've had the wrong things done for their type of hair. Does that make sense if I say it that way?
100%. 100%.
So a lot of clients in particular this week has been, clients that I've been working with for the past year or longer. When they first came in, their hair was literally destroyed. And it could barely hold any color. Forget about a hairstyle. Some people just had no freaking hair left. They were having to grow it out. Some people had 3 strands of hair down here and the rest of it was all in the interior. Like, it was just messed up. There's all kinds of insanity. Looking back on it now, that was one of the first things I was recommending was, let's put in some on stage. You got to come in more often anyways. So what's the difference? Like, who cares that a beaded type of hair extension will not last for 6 months. They're designed to be maintained constantly, but the hair is reusable. That's the difference. That's the trade-off. And when your hair is that fried and when your hair is that damaged, when you've had that many wrong things done to you, you got to come in more often in the beginning if you're trying to save it and bring it back, And I mean that in a very loaded kind of way, because really, when your hair is that messed up, you got to shave your head and start all over. There is no recovering from that.
Right.
But to a certain degree, majority of the people are not going to be willing to shave their head. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to band-aid it, to try to mask it, to try to make it look like something while it's growing back out, And this is the power of using reusable hair, especially with onstage hair extensions. The weft is a large chunk. It's 12 inches wide, so that can easily wrap around the entirety of the head, but it's customizable. So you can cut it down and make it smaller pieces if you need to. And that is huge, absolutely huge. And if somebody needs to come in that often, that's the fun of it, is being able to customize the effect to recover the style without waiting and painstakingly suffering through looking goofy, while it's starting to come back through. The fun is being able to rebuild somebody's confidence instantly. And the fun is being able to complete a look instantly, not having to painstakingly wait for hair to grow. Like we learned earlier from your quiz, it's the fastest growing tissue on the body. But that's still, fastest means only 1/2 inch a month. If your hair is here and you need to grow it down to here, they don't realize it's like 6 inches of growth. It's a whole year.
Right.
It's a long time when you put it in perspective like that,
Sure.
So that's my fun of it. That's what I'll say. That's what my fun of it is.
See, what really for me and on stage makes so much sense for the way that I think. Because with being able to customize that weft and being able to segment it down, take that weft into segments and actually do a true head mapping, map out your placements on the head where you can add, and then that's just with the wefts, but then they have the individuals too, where you can fill in. It is so easy that someone with monkey hands like mine, I had to throw a monkey in there. It is so easy, and it's so non-stressful on the hair itself that it's for me it's a win-win. I love the onstage extensions also because the varying lengths. I don't have to like with Robin. We only used the 18-inch lengths. We didn't have to get the 22s for her and then cut them
Oh
down.
yeah, and then cut half of it off. Yeah, right.
Right, exactly. And the fact that now, you know, and the reusable part of it too, and it's not a sticky, icky mess where you have to retape them, or with the old tape ends. Remember that nightmare of having to clean those wefts and prep them again. The preparation is simple. You just reload the loops with the beads on them, and within 20 minutes, it's back. You're back to action. And you can actually do a reinstall. Within 2 hours. Let's call it 2 hours if you're using.
If you're new to it, yeah.
Yeah, if you're new to it,
you could eventually you'll get way faster than that too.
I mean, I have another client. She came in, and I know this is against, we've talked about this, but she came in. I took the extensions out. I did her color. While her color was processing, I re-prepped the extensions.
Yeah, sure.
Took the color out, dried her hair. We got her hair prepped, and literally in a morning, she got her extensions taken out, her color done, and her extensions put back in. Blended everything together with a little of the Eddie hair blending technique with the texturizing shears. That should be a class, by the way. And she was out the door and happy as a clam. That is amazing. And literally, I mean, I took the extensions out because with the onstage, that hair tool, that makes it so easy. Just to re-oval out those beads, and they just slide right off the hair. There's no messing with anything. And it was awesome. It was awesome. That's what I love about the onstage, and that's why the majority of my small extension clientele, they're on stage and they love it, and they love the durability of it, and the maintenance is so easy.
I think that's one of the main things too. They're easy to maintain.
Yeah.
A successful hair extension job is half of that is not being able to tell that the person has extensions because you blended them very well. But the other half is the maintenance. Can the client take care of them for the next 6 weeks or however X amount of weeks before they have to come back in? And when they do come back in, if the hair shouldn't be matted. But if the client is struggling with maintaining them properly at home, even inevitably, no matter what kind of hair extensions you have, there's going to be some kind of matting or tangling, right?
Right.
Well, how easy is it to get through all of that and put it back? The onstage, the way they're made, it lends itself to constantly resetting and falling back into position. It actually lessens the amount of tangling or matting that could or may occur. So that in itself makes it a lot easier as well. So all the way around, it works out. It definitely works out. It's fun.
It does. And we have to do our shameless plug. Onstage extensions are available through HTB Beauty, and also their certification class would be given to you by this handsome gentleman right here in front of us.
You are very handsome.
Oh, go on, you big silly.
Oh, yeah. Now, you said something, too. You said your client will be happy as a clam.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of the Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. You know that song, Under the Sea?
You're not allowed. You have to stop with the kids' movies.
You want to talk... It's so pure and innocent. And in my dark, dark world of insanity, sometimes I need that moment or like hour or 2 hour of just purity to somewhat try to balance me out. Okay. We just went and watched the Minions movie.
I know, and you tried to talk like a minion for a week.
It was great. Absolutely great. I love kids movies, especially when they're nice, clean kids movies like that. There's no weird, innuendos or adult stuff in them, like actual kids movies, goofy stuffs. Yeah. I was singing Baby Shark for, I think, 3 months, because little Gina's kid was watching Baby Shark and we were babysitting them one weekend. And it was like, yeah, I'd never seen such a goofy cartoon, made no freaking sense. But damn it if I wasn't singing Baby Shark. in the car, in the shower, and everywhere else.
We need to get you a Baby Shark t-shirt.
So how happy are clams?
Clams are very happy. You're stuck to a piece of coral. You're in the ocean. You're just sitting there. You're a clam. You're happy as a clam.
How like not a care in the world, huh?
Right.
You talk about motivation. That's motivating.
Be a clam.
I want to be a clam. Can I be like? Is that a thing?
Until then, you get plucked and then you get thrown in boiling water.
See, that's what I don't understand. Like that does not sound fun. Do you have anything more motivating than that? I don't even know. Like happy as a clam. I love these expressions. You get a segment that's learning a new I love the expressions, the sayings.
I have 8,000 of them.
Lilith, we should, maybe that's what we should do. You want to have a segment about me and about what's going on up in here? I want part of that to be a segment.
And I have a saying for everything. Yeah, I get that.
I am a very self-motivating person. Okay. I am a ball of energy, like a runaway freight train. I cannot be, I'm the juggernaut. Oh, I can't cuss, can I?
No, you cannot cuss.
Have you seen that clip?
Which one?
I'm the juggernaut. And he like starts cursing. It's a satire version of it's like a YouTube clip. It's an old clip.
So,
but that's the whole thing. It's hard when you're constantly bombarded with negativity all day, all week, all month, all year. Like, how do you stay positive? How do you stay happy?
You know what? I think that's a subject for next week.
We should do it because these quotes, these sayings, and these breakdowns, it really is inspirational to me, man. It helps me out. I don't know.
Well,
I hope it's helping other people out. You know, I like the feedback we're getting from these. It's fun.
Yeah. Instead
of quotes next week, I want to do expressions or sayings.
Okay. We will flesh that out, my friend. Let's put a pin in it. We'll circle back to it. I can't, guys. There are days where my choice of friends really needs to be examined. Thank you. My therapist thanks you for all of this.
You would be bored without this level of entertainment in your life.
So on the subject of motivational quotes, my friend, I've got one for you this week. You ready?
Better be better than happy as a clam. That we're setting the bar pretty good over here.
It is better than happier than happy as a clam, or happy as a pig in mud.
In dookie. That's my new word for poo-poo. Is dookie. Taught to me by a 9-year-old at the Sala.
See, all the kids that come into the shop, and then we'll get to the quote. The kids that come in by me, they all know that there's a Nerf gun in my station.
Nice.
And immediately, they just show up in my doorway, and they're like, "Could I borrow your Nerf gun?" I'm like, "Yeah." Just make sure you bring the bullets back.
Darts back, right?
Yeah, the darts back. And then from down the hall, I'll hear a shriek, and then I can start giggling.
See, but that's the fun of it, man. You know, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
It's babysitting is hard. And for a woman to try to find somebody to watch the kid just so she can come relax for a couple of hours is not always the most ideal scenario. The fact that a lot of clients know that they are allowed to bring their kids, and it's, again, not the most ideal thing. Like they want to sit and just relax and not have to worry about it. But the fact that we goof off and play with the little kiddos at the same time while, like we incorporate them into the service.
Right.
It's at least that's one less stress off their head.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like, they don't bring the kids every single time, But at the same time, when they do have to bring them in, we're not rolling our eyes against them. We don't get mad about it, you know?
I love having kids. I love the kids. My clients can bring their kids anytime they want. I love clowning around with them. At my old shop, all the kids that would come in, like I said, they always knew there was toys and crap in my on or in my station. But then they also knew I either had my iPad or had my laptop where they could play games on either one of them.
Wow.
Oh yeah, because I play the same games as the kids. Crossy Road, and what's a big deal to let them nerd out on your device?
That's cool.
I used to threaten that I was going to bring my PlayStation in. No, seriously, we had when they remodeled at the old place I was at, we had TVs at all our stations. And I figured out if I lifted it out, I could get to the back to plug it in. All I needed was to get my hand back there to put an HDMI cable in. And I kept threatening I was going to bring my PlayStation in, and then he threatened to kill the Wi-Fi. And then I found out I could through my phone I could do a hotspot. So, but
nice, wow. See, that's the motivation right there. When you have a goal set in mind, you are singular focused. You're like, I will get this done. That's motivation right there. So what you're saying is everybody should be playing video games.
No, but if you're going to keep your client's kid entertained so they can get their service done and be chill, yeah. But then again, I probably wouldn't have run on time because I would be, one more level.
The timer went off 25 minutes ago, John. Do I need to get shampooed? You're like, hold on.
And then eventually, it would have gotten to where I would have my headset on. So everybody would hear me going, no, you're a noob.
Oh, we are the valiant infantry.
Okay, so you ready for a little motivation today, my friend? Since we've had a silly go at it this week, you ready?
Yes, let's spread some democracy.
Let's spread, a little liberty. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years.
Say that one more time. It's not. Wait,
in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. So how many years you lived. It's the life that you've lived in your years.
Whoa. That's a fortune cookie.
I think it's really important because it's not quantity, it's quality. If you really think about it.
That's deep.
It's about the life you lived. It's about living every day to the fullest. It's about doing the things that count in each and every day. It's not being brain dead and just muddling through life. And there's no reason, we only get one of them. You only get one, allegedly.
Allegedly. You know something we don't know.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
Okay, quality over quantity. So it's not the years you live, it's how you live those years.
Yeah.
There is a lot. Okay, so kind of, wow.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack with this one.
There's a lot to unpack with that one. I like it, though. I like it.
Because it's just take every day. Really, that says to me, take every day and do everything that you could possibly do in the day.
You know what I'm going to say to that? You have a choice, right? With all this negativity going on in the world around us, do you really want to harp and spend all your time worrying about things that you cannot directly control?
Right.
Is that really what you want to do? Is just be, screaming bloody murder into the abyss, on deaf ears? See, there's a saying, right? Falling on deaf ears.
Huh?
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. It's not the amount of years you live. It's how you live those years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the life you lived in. Are you living the life that you want to live? Are you even trying to live the life you want to live?
Okay.
So we're going to close that off with I think a really important motivational quote this week. I think we had a lot of fun this week. There's a lot of information we gave you guys, and we're going to be back next Friday. We're going to be an hour earlier, guys. Just a heads up.
Yeah, we're gonna be at 9 Central, not at 10 Central. We're gonna be
We're
at 9.
9 Central. Unfortunately, my daughter's decided to get married, and
That's unfortunate.
well, unfortunately, we have to start an hour earlier because I have.
Yeah, that came out. So I'm gonna send this clip to her.
Send it to her.
You just became a meme.
She'll laugh. But very fortunate that we're adding. I'm adding a. Well, he's already been added to the family, but yeah, he's a good dude, and my daughter's lucky, and he's lucky to have my daughter. And they both have to suffer with me as a father
Welcome
figure.
to the club, suckers. I'm gonna crash the wedding.
Come on, you can come. Come on, it'll be fun. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a great week.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.